Good morning. It's 5:13 a.m. It's time to make the coffee. I've been using this old Farberware super fast percolator for several months during the pandemic, the quarantining. My mother used it back in the late 90s, and I switched to this old percolator from our cheap Mr. Coffee maker to avoid the contact of the water with the plastic in the coffee maker. This is all steel and glass. But one of the problems with this beautiful percolator is that the grounds tend to end up in the coffee. Now I'm using a very fine grind, a Turkish grind, for the organic coffee beans that I use, and so I decided to get a filter, and they sell disc filters, which go in the bottom here, and they also sell much larger filters, which I decided to use the larger filters. And basically, after the brewing, it forms a package. You basically can just lift it out of the basket and throw it away, or put it in the composting, which is what we do. We have a small composting container. They're called wrap coffee filters. They're fairly large, and it's a little process. It slows you down, but it's worth it in the end. Look at the size of this filter here. Look at the size of this filter. I'm guessing what, that's 8 inches or maybe a little bit more on each side. So basically you want to put that in the brewing basket. There's a hole in it. This is pretty labor intensive, not fast. So then after I put the coffee in here, I basically wrap the filter over it and put the top on, and I'll show you that later. So this is a messy, no matter how you do it. I use 6 heaping tablespoons of coffee for a full pot. This is a 12-cup percolator, and then the center post goes in like that. This is still pretty messy. There's not much space between the to put the coffee in there, and inevitably some ends up on the counter. So then fold this in like that. Top goes on, goes into the percolator. It's a 9-minute brewing process. So the brewing process is just about complete, and the next step is to remove the basket with the coffee in it from the coffee maker, and then you're ready to pour your coffee and enjoy. Of course, the top is very hot, and then I usually wait a few minutes after the brewing process is completed for the water to drain out of the basket. If you don't do that, you lose an ounce or 2 of coffee. No big deal. So use something like a paper towel. See, the top comes off with it, top of the basket. And then lift this out. back. There's your first cup of beautiful percolated coffee. Enjoy.